Everybody, welcome back to the channel. So the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq sold off again. Um, I told y'all yesterday we would. So far things are moving according to plan. If you've been holding puts, again, y'all should have gotten paid today. In today's video, we're going to discuss the next thing to look out for tomorrow, all right? And I'm also going to be doing an updates on some stocks that I've mentioned previously. Now, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We have the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq looks spectacular. The Nasdaq looks great. I like what I'm seeing. I like the rejection of let's move into the 15-minute. I like this rejection right here. I like that a lot. Again, I told y'all I saw it on Friday. And then the weekend's bad news that came out with the sell-off. This is great. Next thing is to watch for the breakdown below 24,600. Y'all see how I have my alert right here? I want y'all to move it right there. Okay. Tomorrow, the Nasdaq might do nothing. It's a possibility that tomorrow we just get a doji. And it's also a possibility that Wednesday we get a doji. But if we don't, right, and the downtrend and the sell-off that I've been telling y'all about actually happens sooner than expected, then we might see this bell ring tomorrow. And we might see the Nasdaq close below 24,600. All right, either here, and then on Wednesday before NVIDIA reports, we end up landing right here. Somewhere over here. Again, it really depends on how fast we drop. The pace at which we drop is still unknown to me. All right, but so far it looks great. The price target down is really low. When we break down here, there will be panic and there will be chaos, just to let you know. So I have been preparing y'all. I've been telling y'all to be bearish, that we are bearish, that I am shorting. And I'm still shorting, by the way. I'm not done yet. So, watch the market for a drop. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. Now, the SPY looks similar. The SPY is not as clean. A lot of people love to trade SPX. The SPY is not as clean, but it is there. The line of support is right there. Again, below the red band, people freak out and short sellers make their bread. All right, below that red band, 6,800 is a key level that's going to break. It's going to break. I've seen this movie before, and I know how it ends right here. Okay, so again, we'll see what happens. Now, the stock for today, I would say the stock for tomorrow, that y'all should be keeping in your radar. I mentioned it yesterday. For those of y'all who watched it all the way through, is none other than Tesla. I shared this one with y'all in advance. If you watched that video, I told you guys that the bears, that there's this pocket of money, of premium, that the bears will be taking advantage of, and that would be between 405 and 385. Okay, but I didn't really talk about the details of why it could happen. Now, there's two reasons, at least the two reasons that I see. The first reason why I shared it in the last video was because of the 1 hour. There is a bearish pennant on the chart. And the breakdown was today at market open. The breakdown was right out here. Okay? Right below 405. So to the short sellers who watched that video and took a day trade today, you should have been plenty of money. All right, this is a lot of money to collect. This is a good opportunity, but it's not done just yet because I told you guys 385. Right, so there's still $15 of premium that we can still collect from here, from right here all the way down to here, maybe even lower, maybe 380. Right, so there's all that money that's up for grabs. So for tomorrow, watch Tesla for a continuation down. It's that simple. Now, the other reason why I want to share Tesla with y'all, let me clear the chart, is because the same structure is present but on the 4 hour. And the breakdown is still today at market open, right? So watch this thing for a drop, especially if these dip buyers get taken out. There are dip buyers located right at 388. The moment we crack below that level, they're going to freak out, they're going to sell. And then we could go on to 380. Could we go lower? Maybe. But for today's sake, for this video specifically, watch for that drop to 385. All right, now the next stock that we got to look at in today's video is gonna be in updates. I told y'all that I am bearish on AMD, that I have puts on, that I had puts on AMD, and I'm here to tell you, yes, I am still shorting it, and I still have puts on AMD. Right, so I am up on my shorts from Friday into today. Like, the stock dropped by 3% in the morning, and then it stayed there and closed exactly where I wanted it to close, which is right below the line. This is the confirmation of a breakdown. Spectacular. This is clean. Okay, option number one, we want to see a massive drop immediately out the gates tomorrow, just like we saw today. Right, that's option number one. Option number two, if Tuesday and Wednesday turn out to be a whole lot of nothing, the stock just chill here for about 1 or 2 days, and then eventually like closes below 194 on Wednesday afternoon before NVIDIA reports. And then NVIDIA obviously disappoints, right? Obviously disappoints, and we see everything collapse. At least that's the outcome that I'm looking at. Again, it's not about the numbers. I'm sure they're gonna beat earnings and they're gonna crush earnings. I have zero doubt that NVIDIA on paper will look great. Okay, but we are traders, and what matters to us traders is the reaction to earnings, not the earnings itself, the reaction to earnings. And I think it's gonna be negative. I think it's going to follow the rest of the Mag 7 stocks, and it's going to really bring everything down. All right, until so we'll see. I am bearish until then. We'll see what happens. So with this one, yes, I have puts, and yeah, I am waiting for this level to get taken out. So watch AMD either tomorrow or Wednesday to get to at least 187 before NVIDIA reports, and then NVIDIA should bring this thing down later. So if you have puts on it, congrats. Now the next stock that we got to look at in today's video, and that answers somebody's question. If you, by the way, if you disagree with anything that I mentioned in these videos, or you have a question on anything, you can drop them in the comment section of the video. We will meet there. All right, but somebody asked me to discuss Google, which is a stock that I gave y'all like a while ago. I think it was last Sunday or last Thursday. I think it was Sunday. I'm pretty sure it was Sunday. All right, I told y'all I had puts on Google, but I had to get rid of it the moment this trend shifted right here, right? So I had puts all the way through, even below 300, and then the next day it failed to close below the pre-market low, right? So I had to ditch Google on this specific day, and I didn't look at it since. And today it looks like, it looks great to me at least, and it looks great to the downside, not to the upside. To some of y'all it may look great to the upside, but for me it looks great to the downside because I don't think it's done yet. The price target that I gave y'all, especially with this structure right here from their earnings letdown, was quite low. It was around like 280, maybe even 270 or 275-ish, right? So the fact that it only went here before doing this BS tells me that we're not done yet. All right, there's still potential down. The weekly chart is very bearish. Yeah, the weekly chart got rejected at resistance, which is great. I would love to see a bearish engulfing candle, meaning like we start out here at 319 and then we end up at exactly 291. I would love to see that. So I will be on the lookout for that, and I will be looking at Google every single day, intraday, for my entry to the downside, just to not miss out on this potential. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, that it's a guaranteed, but if it shows me a structure or it gives me a reason to go short, this is what I would be expecting by the end of the week, right? So overall, the bears are in control of Google. They are. And tomorrow, if we open up below here, it's gonna be great for all of the shorts, especially those who have been short since 317. All right, that right there, it's gonna cause a lot of fear, and the shorts are gonna get real happy, and they're gonna add on to it, and the stock is gonna go even lower. So I'm not bullish on Google at all. I had to get rid of my puts because I don't like to hold things that are either going sideways or not moving at all. For those of you who've been in the Discord, you know how I trade. Like, like I get in at the close and then I sell in the morning. I don't hold through chop, and then I can choose to get back in again at the close, the same way I did for AMD. Let me show y'all. So with AMD, let me show y'all this thing. So there you go. So Discord. All right, so this is 220 right there. Right, my entry again at the close, the last 3 minutes. That's when I go back in, right? And then the target is set. And then in the morning, when a stock is gapping in my favor, and AMD was dropping by like -2 or -2.5% below 196, I'm selling, right? Because I think the drop was too fast, and I think, and I at the time, I thought it was just a good time to start collecting, just in case it starts to go sideways and does absolutely nothing, which is exactly what it did, and ended up closing the day at the price that I wanted it to close at. So in that wick right here, I collect, and then I wait. I don't get involved in this chop because the contracts are just getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper when the stock is going nowhere, right? And then I get back all of my contracts at the close for cheap. For a lot cheap, like for the same price that I got them right here, because theta took away the value from the contracts when the stock didn't do anything, right? So that's how I like to trade. Again, for those of you who've been in my Discord and who've been trading with me, you know how we do things, right? So I am in it, and it's gonna fall. The next stock that we're gonna look at is HD. HD. Right here. Now, HD has earnings tomorrow. And with HD, Home Depot, there's two things that that people who are bullish should be worried about. Just two. There's a gap below at 360, right here. And then there's another gap that's even lower. There's another one right at 300 or 290 to be worried about, right? So this one will be interesting for the next few months. Eventually, will this get filled? I believe it. I really do believe it, because again, I told you I am bearish on like the whole market. I am. Okay, if you didn't know that already, I am bearish on everything, and I think it's just gonna go down, right? But for this one specifically, it's either the reaction is gonna be big, it's gonna be small, or it's gonna be huge. I don't think it's gonna drop that low that quickly, no. But just be on the lookout for that. At least for that opportunity right there to 360. I don't see any gap above. I really don't. I really don't. No. Yeah. So that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Again, if you disagree with anything that I've mentioned in this video, let me know in the comment section. I will meet you down there. All right. Once again, I am not your financial advisor. Do your own research and make your own decisions. And don't forget to follow me on social media. Follow me on Instagram and on X. And lastly, don't forget to like and follow for more.